365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
And welcome everybody to Real Talk. We are back after a week off, and man, has there been a lot going on in the world and in the world of sports. So we're gonna get into it. Kyler Murray, maybe he should be happy, maybe he shouldn't be happy. It's like he's in college all over again. So congratulations to him. But we will definitely get into a variety of different things. But first, I got to check on my guys. How y'all feeling?
I'm all right. A little tired, but I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm doing all right as well. Ready to talk some sports. Let's get it.
All right. So we are going to start with Kyler Murray, who has got the deal. A lot of the quarterbacks, we're seeing them get done. Lamar still has not gotten done yet.
Look, don't come over here, start nothing off. Don't do it, man. Don't come over here.
I hear you. We're still waiting. He says there is a deadline or stop. I forget what the exact quote was, but basically said, I'm not done talking to him, but they better get something done soon or I'm going to cut it off. Oh, there's a cutoff is what he said. So Arizona went ahead and did what they had to do, similar to New Orleans. Who paid Zion, but put a clause in his deal, which we'll get to in a minute. But Kyler Murray has a clause, and we can kind of unpack how they can track this as well. But in his contract, it is required that he spends 4 hours, I believe it's a week, if I'm not mistaken, 4 hours a week studying away from the facility. I'm not used to that type of clause being in a deal. I think it's crazy alarming that you're doing that for your quarterback. I could see maybe if it's a left tackle, but if your quarterback is being required to watch more tape,
why it gotta be a left tackle?
I know that was random.
Left tackles obviously protect the quarterback. That's the next most important. But anyway. So I don't know.
Couldn't be a guard, couldn't be a center.
Don't know.
Couldn't be a defensive tackle. You know,
nobody cares about watching tape if you're the interior lineman. Like that's not nearly as important as a left tackle.
I'm just saying, you just made that left tackle stick out like a sore thumb, man. You just like,
have you seen the contracts that these left tackles be getting? There's a reason they're paying them.
Hey, my boys are living in the contract of Ronnie Stanley, who I believe we overpaid him right now because he took a whole year off after he got that deal. I
mean, I'm just saying you should probably watch tape in that position. Let's not get stuck there. So with Kyler, what'd you say?
You'll be watching tape in all position, but okay.
Okay, so let's have that conversation. You can't tell me that every position needs to watch the same amount of tape.
You telling me that each position is not important as the next position? So you telling me that none of my defensive linemen should be watching tape?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about that because
I don't know about that one, Ray. I don't know.
All of the greats are. All of the greats that we've known for in history, most of them are known for being big time film studiers. You know, whether even to talk to Devs guys, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, those guys are known for watching a ton of film. So I think any great player, regardless of position, you got to watch film.
So I'm not saying you don't watch any film. I'm saying I think there are levels to it. So you guys think Ray Lewis was watching as much tape as a quarterback?
Yeah.
On average.
He came out and said
it. As much, very close to
it. He came because you guys sit here and think he was calling out Peyton Manning and Tom Brady signals as they was coming to the line. You know what I mean? If you can call out somebody's signals as they coming to the line, you had to watch some tape. You have to know their their tendencies.
No. I didn't say that you don't watch any tape. I'm saying I think there's levels to it. And Ray Lewis is probably a top 2 middle linebacker in my opinion. So he may have, but typically, even as the quarterback of the defense, I don't think defensive players are watching more tape than.
And that's why some of these linebackers are getting toasted. That's why some of these linebackers are not getting the big contracts as like what's the last big time middle linebacker contract other than probably like Patrick Willis maybe might have been your last big time middle linebacker.
I can't remember his name, but he got paid.
Oh yeah, Leonard.
Yeah, that's right. But but besides Leonard, when's the last time a middle linebacker really got paid? Outside of Patrick Willis's and your Ray Lewis's and but back then their contract wasn't as big as what Leonard is getting now.
Yeah, of course not. But I think that's the point I'm making. Like, I agree, you have to watch some level of tape. I don't think middle linebackers should be watching more tape than quarterbacks. I don't think DNs, I don't think safeties. If they're watching more tape than a quarterback, I think that's a problem if I'm a coach.
Well, so you don't think Aaron Donald should be watching that much tape? We consider him as one of the great, linemen. No. He shouldn't be watching as, the techniques of whatever offensive lineman he's getting ready to go up against.
Technique,
try to study them.
Schemes as well. Like you got to see how teams are going to block you. So I think what you're saying is I don't think we disagree that there are levels to it. I think that the difference between I don't think it's as great as you think it is. So like I think you're saying like quarterbacks watch this much amount of film where all the other positions watch that much amount of film. And I think the difference is a lot closer than you think.
I don't think just same thing with corners. I don't think corners and D-backs are watching the same amount. Now we can disagree on how variant we say that gap is, but I think Kyler Murray should be watching most tape on his team, and I don't think.
I don't think we disagree with you there. I think, like I said, I just think it's probably like the levels that you're talking about. I think that with the disparity or the difference in the levels, I don't think we agree on. That's all.
Fair enough.
Do you think Arizona is trying to treat or look at Kyler Murray as how Oakland should have looked at Jamarcus Russell? You know what I mean? Because how they gave Jamarcus Russell that blank tape and was like, and he came out, I watched it and I don't understand it.
Yeah, but to me, the difference is Arizona gave him the money. Like Oakland didn't give him the money. Had Oakland gave him the second deal, then I would say, but Arizona gave him the money, which to me makes this even crazier. Like we can assume this came out from the Arizona side. I don't think Kyler's team put this out because it's not a good look for him.
Yeah.
So if it came from the team side, you put this out, but you also paid him. But you also put the clause in there so that you don't have to pay him. Like, that just sounds like confusion at the craziest level. And how in the world, if you're giving somebody that much money, can now you be putting confidence in him as a quarterback to the teammates? Like,
I don't think there's confidence in him fully.
So then what are we doing?
I think that's the whole point. Like, I think this is more one of those, how you have those prove it deals? Like, to me, that's what this is. This is like, you got to prove to us that you're worth this money. And this is part of what you have to do in order to prove to us that you're worth this money is that you got to watch. It's a much amount of that's nothing. Like 4 hours in a week is nothing. So this is not, it's not like they put this huge demand on him. To me, this is going to be the easiest clause in the contract that you can reach. Because if you're telling me that you can't watch an hour of film at home 4 days out of the week, like, come on. I can't believe that.
Then that's even more confusing to me. So if you're saying this isn't even a lot, then why even put it in?
Yeah, I think it's to show the dedication.
Yeah, I think that they wanted to show. I think they wanted to show on their side. This is the reason why we were hesitant in offering him this deal. And now that we're offering him this deal, we want you guys to know, like, these are some of the issues that we're having. And now we're putting him on Front Street to let y'all know this is what we've been dealing with the last few years. So remember, he said it in the article. The article he said it like, I see I don't watch a lot of film. I see things before it happens.
So I think the key is, and I wish Jay was here. It sounds like in Arizona, they don't know what the heck they're doing because we've had 2 players in the offseason. They don't
sound like I think we've already established that.
We talked about, I think the last time we was on, how bad I believe Phoenix blew the Ayton deal, and now we have them turning around and doing this to Kyler. Like, I just don't understand it. And I told y'all last year, he shouldn't have been in the Pro Bowl. I wasn't a Kyler Murray fan. So I've been clear on that. But
I think we all got questions about Kyler Murray. I don't think you're by yourself on that.
Yeah, I don't believe in Kyler Murray. I believe you paid them a year too early because you only paid this. You only paid this. Right. And
that's the great
thing. You paid this guy that only made 1 playoff appearance.
You know, terrible.
And then he limped his way into that playoff appearance also. So, you know, I think
the second part to that is the NFL has the franchise tag. So even if you aren't sure, you can let him play it out, unlike the NBA, where
when they free on his deal though.
He had he had about 2-3 years left
because he played 3. This would have been his 4th, and then they would have had to pick up the 5th-year option.
Right, so I'm saying he still had 1 year left on his rookie deal, so they didn't even necessarily have to extend him now.
That's true.
That's why I said they paid them a year too early.
Right.
Yeah. I
just think that franchise just wanted to lock a quarterback up, buy some time just in case Kyler Murray don't work out and another quarterback might pop up through the college ranks or something.
How you buy some? But you're not buying. To me, if you're doing that, then you're signing him to a 2 or 3 year deal. You're not signing him to no 4-year deal. Like that's basically locking yourself in with this guy for the next 5 years because you still got a year left on his current deal.
But then you already heard Kyler was already crying about the deal that he was already in, so he probably wouldn't accept that 2-3 year deal.
We have apparently breaking news. You guys are hearing it here first on ASAP. That Kyler's study clause has been removed, according to Rappaport. The independent study clause has been removed from his deal.
So did he even? So then, okay. Now I'm confused. So did he sign the deal yet or not? Like how are we doing?
How can you remove something that you signed?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are we doing negotiations?
My guess is it's one of those. You know how the trades are officially done, but then they don't really get signed until later.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's because it was an extension. If there's some kind of
they took that clause out because that clause got leaked. They wasn't supposed. Nobody was supposed to know about that clause, so they was like, "Oh, we messed up." So that's just taken away.
Jay, where are you? Speak.
And with DK getting paid today, I'm guessing there was some kind of deadline coming up. That's why DK got paid today too. So I'm guessing there was a deadline, so it was agreed to, but they hadn't pushed it through or whatever. So yeah, we just got done talking about how great ownership and management is in Arizona, and now they've removed the clause because of public pressure. Like, I thought we had it bad out here in Washington. Right there. Like, this is
wild.
This is wild. So I guess
move on then.
move on, but I guess if I'm Arizona, then so what now? Because now he's probably not going to study.
Well, but I think the fact that narrative is out there, I think now he's going to really want to try to prove that narrative wrong. So it may be a blessing in disguise for them in that he is going to, dedicate himself more to the craft and be more prepared so that he can get that, that stigma or that narrative off him.
So I understand that thought process. How I typically handle situations is I try to look
at logic here. I don't know if logic applies.
I try to look. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to laugh by albatross, but that part with that little thing was
funny. So I try to look at the person, and from what I've seen from Kyler Murray, is he doesn't seem like somebody that's going to do what you just said. He seems like, and I don't know the man. I'm just telling you what it seems like. he's the kind of person saying, "Ha, I bullied y'all. Now I'm gonna give you maybe even less because the money's guaranteed now. I got 105 fully guaranteed. I'm set." Well, I heard reports that it was the actual is 105.
Oh, okay.
There's something in there. But 105, 160, whatever. My process, and this is what I've said about Russell Westbrook. My process has got me here. So
that's fair.
Why am I about to start changing the formula?
Yeah, you got a point.
At this point, because y'all think I should, y'all ain't here. That to me seems to be his personality and demeanor. And so I can promise, well, I'm not gonna promise, but I think Arizona is very unhappy in the situation they were in. And I guess their hand was forced some kind of way because of all the social media stuff. Because we forget just a couple months ago, he had deleted the Cardinals off his Instagram, social media. Right. They was running through all that. So this is just a mess.
But this is going to be an ongoing story. I think the entire year we're going to be.
Let them start the year.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to be under the microscope for the entire year. So that's why I think that he's going to be really, trying to be on his A game because he's going to be under such a microscope.
He's going to have to win that division
this coming season. Right, and that division ain't exactly,
and it ain't gonna be it ain't gonna be that easy. So he's gonna have to win that division, and he's gonna have to get deep into the playoffs because that just getting that division,
and he doesn't have
to. I don't see them beating.
I said this. I understand they ain't gonna win that division, but I'm just saying that's the only way that Kyler Murray is going to kind of get underneath this microscope. If he win that division and then kind of go deep into that playoffs, he's going to have to kind of make a name for himself, other than just a Cardinals franchise quarterback.
And it's not great. They start at home against the Chiefs to start the season. Then they go at Raiders. Then they host the Rams. And then it lightens up a bit at Panthers. Eagles come to them. They go to Seahawks. Saints come to them. So
I don't like nothing. You got to see and think that first 3 games is going to be tough.
And then
so you're going to be tired with coming week 4 and week 5.
Towards the end, you go at Rams, 49ers come to you, Chargers come to you, Patriots come to you. Then you go to Broncos, then Tampa Bay comes to you. And then you finish up with 49ers and Falcons. So I don't know. I don't know if Cliff will make it through this year. Because it could get ugly early and
it's going to get ugly late. Let's go ahead and say it, right? It's going to get ugly late too.
It might be curtains. So we'll see what happens with all that.
But they might get on a hot streak like they did last year.
But that's the thing. They end the year is terrible.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
They start off bad. And you historically in bad, like that's not a good recipe.
I ain't got faith in them.
and you got to remember Hopkins is out the first 6 games.
6, yeah.
Yep.
So you incorporating Hollywood Brown is really your one because you lost Christian Kirk too.
They got AJ Green back though, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
and they still got.
I'm not saying that AJ Green is going to be dominant, but
Ertz is still there.
Ertz is still there. So I mean, they have some pieces.
They got lower pieces.
They got a tough start and finish, but we are going to move because I believe the quarterback is the most valuable position to a division that. Oh no, there's a Ravens fan. Chris is a Philly fan.
Yeah.
But you
can. Who?
Aren't you? You're not a Ravens fan?
Yeah, I'm a Ravens fan. What you thought you said I was? You thought I was a what fan?
I was saying Chris is an Eagles fan. I was gonna say they're all in the same division, but
I thought you. I was like, hey man, wrong bird, man. No.
But I do want to give us an opportunity to revisit a conversation that occurred long ago. It seems as far as best quarterback in the NFC East. We've had the addition of Carson Wentz. We have Jalen Hurts potentially taking a step forward. We got Dak, and I don't think anyone's going to pick him, but you have Daniel Jones.
Ain't nobody gonna pick. You talking about ain't nobody gonna pick.
What was that?
Kenny? You saying that was Daniel Jones? You saying that too? Nobody's gonna pick. Okay. I thought you were saying about that.
Like, no.
I thought he was talking about that.
That's why I had to clarify.
I know one person gonna pick that.
Shots early.
I was like, dang, Kenny not gonna pick that? Man. Like, bro, he ain't got no faith in this quarterback. Yeah,
we gonna see how glowingly he speaks of him here in a moment. But I do want to go around and kind of get y'all opinion as we go into the NFC East, but arguably one of the worst divisions in football, maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's some decent teams. There's no great team, but they're not. There's no one that I think is absolutely trash either. So it's somewhere. But I'll start with you, Dev. Who do you think is the best quarterback in the NFC East?
I'm gonna go with Daniel Jones. Say no, I'm kind of riding with Jalen Hurts. I kind of believe that now he has no excuse. He has weapons around him. I believe that Philly knows Jalen Hurts' strength, and they was trying to build around his strength. That if you get him some weapons around him, that he can be maybe turn on that Alabama quarterback how he was in college. So I like Jalen Hurts. I would have chose that, but he just did that when he ain't slide. When he didn't slide at, he got that first down last year. That kind of showed me something like, you don't know the time, the possession. You don't know anything. You just messed the whole. You got some growing to do, and I used to like that in college. Check this guy out. We talk about NFC East, and he heard me hop on Jalen Hurts and check him out. Boy, Chris, you was something
right
else.
On time.
But yeah, I like Jalen Hurts, man. I can't ride with Carson Wentz. He made too many mistakes. Sorry, Ray. Daniel Jones, he just there. They don't even know what position they want to put him in sometimes. They got him playing quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, so they don't know what they want to do with Daniel Jones. So I'm going to go ahead with Jalen Hurts.
Okay. He dropped out. Dang, I guess
I should have went with Daniel. I should have went with Daniel Jones if I know he was going to leave.
Listen. Technical difficulties, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, but I had some technical difficulties. I'm glad to be back, feeling a little better. Want to talk sports with my guys, man. It's been a while.
Absolutely. Real quick, Schefter just tweeted this, and it's back to the last topic.
Yeah.
After seeing the distraction it created, we removed the addendum from the contract. It was clearly perceived in ways that were never intended. Our confidence in Kyler Murray is as high as it's ever been, and nothing demonstrates our ability to lead this team more than the commitment reflected in this contract. So that is the Arizona Cardinals statement. I'll open it up.
A hamstring backpedaling. Oh my goodness.
We just talked about.
I just tore my hamstring.
Yeah.
Listen to that statement.
Man,
that's Chris, as you joined us here, and I'm sure you're aware of the situation. Your thoughts on now the removal and now the statement following even shortly thereafter.
I mean, to me, it only makes the situation worse. Now that you're going back on, what you said. First of all, I believe it shouldn't have been in a contract to begin with. That's something you have a conversation with internally. You don't make that. You don't put that in a contract, because to me that shows that. At first, I thought it was fake, but hearing out his real, it shows me that how much faith do you really have in him? That's some of the questions I start having with Arizona and Kyler Murray. So I think right now, they're trying to make the situation better. It's a cute PR statement, but everybody knows it's only making a situation worse. It's more of a distraction, because now we're going to talk about it even more. So I think Arizona really messed up with this one. Shout out to Kyler Murray. I'm glad you got paid. Still don't understand why Lamar Jackson hasn't got paid yet, but I'm not going to go on that rant, Dev. But yeah.
See, I told you I should have went with Daniel Jones, man. Look at him, man. God, see
what? I know. I'm saying
Nah,
I want Lamar to get paid.
Look, man. I want my man to get paid too. We ain't gonna keep on having every episode, and y'all keep talking about Lamar ain't get paid. Lamar,
no.
I know he ain't get paid, man.
This not a diss to Lamar. This is saying if Arizona is willing to pay Kyler and these crazy stipulations, what's up with the MVP? That's all I want to know.
I'm with you on that one, though.
They've clearly been nervous and clearly.
Oh, yeah, he's upset right now. He's upset.
I'm upset. Look, put it like this.
We haven't been here.
He helped Lamar out.
If the shot's gonna get fired my way, the shot's gonna get fired my way, man. It's cool.
I ain't gonna shoot him, but I'm with you though, Chris, man. Lamar should have been got paid, but all Baltimore is doing this. Lamar is going to be a 50+ a year quarterback. That's what it's going to wind up being, because even if you let this man get franchise tag next year, that's how much you're going to be paying him anyway. So, thank you, Kyler, for helping them out, but not thank you also, because like I said, we still hurting for the daggone Joe Flacco deal we made a couple years ago.
The price is not coming down.
No,
so I don't know what y'all waiting for.
No.
Like, it's just not. We live in a new age. And they got
today's price is not today's.
And Lamar, do you know what Lamar Jackson also just saw? The NFL released a streaming service. So you know what that means?
More
money. Like, it's y'all watched Washington do it, and y'all got to do the same thing.
Ray, I don't mean to cut you off. Did anybody pick my Jalen Hurts as their quarterback to have in the NFC? I'm just curious. My guy Dev, man. You know, I know you on with Trash Prescott. I know you went with Trash Prescott. You know, Kenny's all good. My bad.
Man, nobody said nothing about not throwing Jalen Hurts.
My bad.
Hey, man, he ain't sick at all. He ain't sick. If he is spreading the germs right now.
So we can get back to it. Chris, I guess you clearly have an opinion on that. So what quarterback are you taking out of the NFC East? I don't think there would be a surprise coming here.
I'm going Jalen Hurts, you know, and I can't pick nobody other than Jalen Hurts. But I'm not. Let me take that back. Dak Prescott. I mean, I could, but I'm not. I could, but I'm not. Dak Prescott isn't trash. I don't think he's trash. I think he's a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. You know, I definitely think he's worth his money. I don't think the Ravens can afford Lamar.
That's not the problem.
Nah, that's not
the problem. They just can't, you know, Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray just kind of messed it up for him. Right?
They did. They messed it up bad. But, you know, I'm picking Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to have a big improvement this year, bringing in A.J. Brown. The offensive line is healthy. You know, another year in this system, another year with the head coach and offensive coordinator. You know, I expect big things. You know, and again, that A.J. Brown deal, you know, that was huge. You're bringing him a true number one, a Pro Bowl type receiver. You know, not that Devontae Smith going to be a Pro Bowler, but A.J. Brown is here now. So I think that's really going to help his development. And I'm going Jalen Hurts. If Dak Prescott's right there, then it's everybody else. You know, I'm not mad if y'all pick Dak because I think Dak's talented. But if somebody says any other quarterback than those two, you said who?
I'm playing.
Oh, all right. But yeah, I'm going Jalen Hurts. No shots at Dak Prescott. I just did that just because I came in a little late. I had to, announce my presence.
Boy, you announced it, you came busting door like ATM.
So, of the NFC's quarterbacks, does anyone have a ring?
Real ring? I have a ring. Listen.
Wasn't the Giants the last team to win out that division?
No, Philly.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Oh, yes, right, Philly.
Yeah, Carson. You're not picking Carson Wentz. Don't lie to us.
Who's had?
Did you say Carson Wentz got a ring? That don't count. That don't count. That's Nick Foles. On his ring, underneath his ring, it says, "Thank you, Nick Foles."
I'm not defending Carson Wentz no more. So let's go.
Listen. So, of all these quarterbacks, who has had the best single season?
And who been getting passed around like a joint these last?
All right. So
There must be some Reggie.
Hold on. Dak has had. Don't get me wrong. Carson had that MVP season, but Dak has had some very good years.
They weren't better than that season.
I know, right? He was supposed to MVP, you know, but he's not that same Carson Wentz. So it's all good.
And I would argue Dak.
Go ahead, Ray. Please finish, because I got to hear this.
So, if you look at the situations, I think we all agree the Cowboys' offense has taken a step back. I think when you look at Philly, it's great that they've made a lot of moves, but Philly has made a lot of moves before, and we saw how that turned out.
When
you have
Dream
Team?
That wasn't no dream team.
Exactly.
No, because that was never a dream team. Namdi sucked. Namdi was never a good player.
That team
you had one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time as a backup. That's how good y'all were. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think what we see here is that every team has flaws and deficiencies. Cool. I think we've solidified. Carson Wentz's receivers are solidified. The running game is solidified. And it's in a quarterback-friendly offensive system. I think if we look at who is likely to have the best season this year, it's either Carson or Jalen Hurts. And I'm going to pick the guy that I've seen do it before over the guy that I think can do it, but hasn't showed me that he can. So the answer is Carson Wentz. And now he just has to go and prove. He just has to go out and prove what he can do. So
this man on his third team in 3 years. We talk about he the best quarterback.
And that happens. And that happens. And I think
when is a good quarterback on his third team in 3 years?
Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm sure he had a similar stretch. And we've seen
a good quarterback.
Don't disrespect.
Good in service. No, good in service.
He's the same amount of team as what's the dude name? That Arizona drafted. What's his name? He went to Miami.
Josh Rosen.
Rosen.
Ryan Fitzpatrick has hit higher highs than any other quarterback in this division.
So when you play 20 years, what'd you expect?
There's a whole bunch of people that didn't make it to 20 years. Number one overall draft picks. This is a Harvard educated man.
Listen, I respect that you had to defend your guy. Look.
He only played one game with Washington last year.
I know what I see. I see talent. I see that he was better than Tua. We saw what happened.
Where was this excitement? When Washington acquired Carson Wentz? I ain't heard no excitement.
Neither have I. I heard people sigh relief
whatsoever. Now we talk about.
I'm not saying that he's great. What I'm saying is, I think he's the best of our division.
You put that man's Super Bowl ring in this conversation.
Right. Does he have one?
He didn't even play.
Right? He got that one. Yeah, he do. He do got that Super Bowl ring.
Since when do we start disqualifying people's rings?
All the time.
Doing that.
But you made it seem like Carson Wentz.
What ring we disqualifying? Outside of the bubble.
Kevin Durant, come on, stop! No. We going there. We're going there. You didn't got me started. Anybody other than the Lakers win that championship, nobody's saying it's a bubble ring. I promise you. If the Celtics win, oh my God, look at Jason Tatum, the young player. If Giannis win, he's the MVP, the defensive player of the year.
If the Heat would have won that year.
Oh my God! If the Heat would have won, they'd have been celebrated like no other. But because it was LeBron and the Lakers, it's this bubble ring. You messed me with that. Anybody else, even the Clippers, anybody else wins that championship and they're getting praised to this day. You know I'm right. Dad. You know I'm right, right?
In the bubble looked like a top 15 NBA player of all time. So
but he looked like that the playoffs after though.
No, he didn't.
Pull up the numbers. His numbers were some of the best in the playoffs. He shot 50, 40, and 90.
The year before.
What, this past year?
The year before. No. 2 years ago. The year after the bubble.
Okay, I can go look up the numbers, but I know what I saw in the bubble. That man lost his mind. I ain't seen him play like that.
My man said, I don't care about the numbers. I care about what my eyes.
I can go look at the numbers in a minute, but I know what I saw.
Listen, they up here, right?
And out of Jamal Murray and out of Karis LeVert.
Look, you ready?
Players that was out of their absolute mind.
You ready for the numbers?
Sorry, not Karis. It's Karis LeVert and TJ Warren. We ain't heard from neither one at that level since.
You ready for the numbers?
Okay, what's the numbers?
You know, I'll admit, he shot 50-50. He shot, 36 points on 52% from the field, 51% from the 3-point line, but that's in one series. In 2 series, 2 years ago, he 32 points, 43% from the 3-point line on 12 attempts in 10 games.
That's a big difference. That percentage dropped by 10%.
4 points is a big difference.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
And you shoot in 2 more threes.
Yeah.
You shoot in 2 more threes.
After 30 in the
He
playoffs.
he shot 2 more threes in 3 more games. That's not a big drop off.
Yeah, we're not diminishing that.
I didn't say it's a big drop off, but a 10. You said he went from shooting 50% to 40%, and it was 4 more points. That's
he went from shooting. All right, let's be technical. 51% to 43%, and he shot 2 more threes when he shot 43%.
So I don't care if you shot more. The percentage is a percent. He dropped 8%. That's a big drop off under most circumstances. If you could shoot, if Steph shot 40% this year and came back and shot 32% next year,
51 to 40,
wrong with him?
51 to 43. I mean,
51. Donovan Mitchell shooting 51% from 3 lets you know the bubble was crazy. Like, thank you for making my point.
That's hearsay. Because if anybody could shoot, everybody would have been shooting lights out.
I'm saying there was a whole lot of people doing things, Anthony Davis included, that they ain't done since.
It sounds like you're a little upset that your Wizards didn't get invited. It's okay.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. I just call it when I see it.
Crispy.
So again, there's one discounted ring, but we don't discount nobody else's ring. That was the point of the conversation.
The bubble is discounted. If the bubble is discounted, then the Warriors rings is discounted. I'm sorry. If the bubble ring is discounted, then getting Kevin Durant when you already won 73 games, that's discounted. I don't care what nobody says.
Try me. Those are not the same things by any stretch of imagination. So I don't even know how we got up on that tangent of challenge. Y'all talking crazy about people's value.
If Larry Bird went to the Showtime Lakers,
that's a Super Bowl winning.
Now I want to make
you the one made it seem like Carson Wentz was the Super Bowl MVP.
He was going to be the regular season MVP, and he got a ring. That's all I said. I said we don't diminish rings, and we ain't gonna diminish.
You know what? I got him. I got him, y'all.
Listen. It's funny because
I got him. I got him real quick.
You
was the same guy that was not trying to get James Wiseman his prop for winning the ring this year. You were James Wiseman. James Wiseman, he don't deserve that ring. James Wiseman, he got a ring.
I ain't never say he ain't deserved the ring. I said I played him yesterday.
But you ain't want to give James Wiseman that ring though. We're gonna have to pull the tape because it was something about you. You didn't want to give James Wiseman that ring. He was like, nah, he ain't even playing
him to a guy that he didn't play all year. Carson Wentz played up until the last 2 games of the season. That's not even a fair equivalency. 1, I don't think I said that, but 2, that's not the same thing. One guy was on pace to be MVP and got hurt. Another guy about diminishing ball the whole year.
You said diminishing ring.
All right, can we stop all this nonsense and start talking?
All right, go ahead and pick that, Kenny.
I've been trying to get it to Kenny.
Go ahead and pick that, Kenny.
He just wants to talk about that.
Yeah, enough of this nonsense, man. We all know the truth that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC East. Let's stop lying to ourselves and stop lying to the American public. Like, let's be clear here. This is the quarterback that has the most experience in the division. The quarterback that's had the most success in the division. The quarterback that has the most wins in the division.
How has he had the most success? What are you basing that off of? Just quick.
Because since he's been the quarterback of that team, they won the division.
They went nowhere. They won the division, but they went nowhere.
But I'm just saying, we're talking about the division.
Okay, I just wanted to know how you were quantifying
that. About all of those metrics, Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC East, and it's not close.
Dang, you ain't even gonna make a long statement.
But
so you don't need to play around with it.
So you think now that the weapons
I like that
change, and I think pretty significantly, what level of Dak do you think we're going to see? Because Dak has always been in a very favorable situation.
Well,
others were not.
I understand. Yes, we have taken some hits on the offensive side, but you still have Zeke, you still have Pollard, you still have CeeDee Lamb, you still have Blake Jarwin. You still, we drafted a young wide receiver. I can't think of his name right now. And then we just signed the USFL MVP. to help in the return game. So there's still some pieces there. Let's not act like the cupboard is bare. We just lost our quote unquote number one receiver, and we're looking for CeeDee Lamb to step up into that role. Because if we're keeping it a buck, he was Dak was throwing to him like he was the number one receiver. That I think that was part of the problem, was that Amari wasn't getting the targets that he felt like he was getting, and I think he behind closed doors that he was making a fuss about it, and I think that's what got him out of town.
I got a question for you, Kenny. So now do you think with CeeDee being the number one, right? Because you don't have like Amari is one of the best route runners in the game. So, he's going to get a lot of attention from the defense. So seeing that CeeDee is by far the number one, how do you think he's going to, adapt to that as far as now teams are really going to key in on him, especially with Gallup? Who knows when he's going to return? And honestly, no disrespect to NFL players, but CeeDee, it's CeeDee and who else? That's how it's looking right now. If we just keep being honest.
Mm-hmm.
So
no. There's definitely questions on the other side in terms of the second and third wide receiver is going to be. But I think that remains to be seen. Like, to me,
I heard a lot of people say that comment. No, that's my opinion.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta see. Right. That's what I'm saying. Now you got to see. Now that the coverage is being rolled to you, what you can do, and can you still be as productive? Because we know that Amari Cooper was getting the bulk of the attention in terms of secondaries, in terms of coverages and role of coverages. So it remains to be seen. Like, I want to be confident. I want to say that I believe that he's going to be good, because at the end of the day, he still is a good wide. He's a good receiver. He's quick. His hands sometimes get a little shaky, but I think this is why you got to prove to, this is your time to shine, to show and prove. And so I think we're going to see whether or not he's a number one receiver this year.
Okay. Well, there we have it. We will have a chance to see it be proved out here in just a couple weeks. I think we got 3 weeks before preseason start.
Yeah.
Only 3 games
this year. Next week. Next week is the Hall of Fame game.
Next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all. I thought it was like the second week of August.
I know Eagles having an open training camp on the 7th of August. I know I'm going to be going down there more than likely for that.
This Saturday the Ravens got a
the Hall of Fame
open practice at the M&T Bank Stadium this Saturday. I'm gonna be down there this Saturday.
Cool. And unrelated but related, do we know who's on Hard Knocks this year to start the year?
I don't
think they announced it.
No,
it's the 4th. The Hall of Fame game's on the 4th.
Okay, I'll look it up, but that's just for my own personal.
Are they even having it? They might not even be having it.
I didn't even hear them announce a team.
It's a big team. I can't remember who it is, but and they're doing the split thing again.
Oh, is it a Raiders? No, it's not the Raiders this year.
Let me see. Oh man, it's supposed to be Arizona Cardinals.
No.
That contract is gonna be all in the Hard Knocks, boy.
Look, that's gonna be the only interesting thing.
Yeah, it looks like it's Arizona.
No, that's trash.
Yeah,
no offense, Jack.
Wait, maybe that's
no. You're right. I just looked it up too.
It looks like there's because I see one with the Lions that keeps popping up. Also,
is they going to do a second one again, like how they did last year?
I would watch the Lions one. I think they're young. They coaches. He seems like a player's coach.
Yeah, it's Arizona.
But I thought the Lions had was last year mid-season.
No, I thought the Colts was the first time they did mid-season.
Oh, the Colts. Oh, I didn't watch that. I couldn't catch the mid-season.
And I didn't watch it either, which I usually do, so I don't know.
I didn't catch the mid-season.
We can move off of that to another quarterback. This time, a quarterback who can't get out of his own way, in my opinion. Ben Roethlisberger, fresh in his retirement age, probably has a podcast or something coming soon, is speaking out about the current players in today's NFL. And like the old sounding fogey he can be, he was critical of the players. I feel like the game has changed. I feel like the people have changed in a sense. Maybe it's because I got spoiled when I came in. The team was so important. It was all about team. Now it's about me and this, that, and the other. His own teammate or former teammate, Cam Hayward, has come out and said he wasn't really feeling it. I guess I'll turn it over to you guys. Is this substantiated? Is this inbounds? Is out of bounds? I'll start with you, Kenny.
I think I don't think it's like totally out of bounds. I think he was a little, I think he had some points to it because I think it's part of what he's talking about. I think is a byproduct of the social media age, and that it's a lot of self-promotion going on. If we're being real, like there's a lot of self-promotion going on as a result of social media. So I think that's what he's talking about. So he's kind of does sound like a get off my lawn guy to an extent. So I can understand why guys feel a type of way about that, because you didn't say that when you was playing. You waited till after you left to start saying these things. So I can see why guys would feel a type of way about it. But I think he has a point to a degree, but I don't think that it's as far gone as he might have portrayed it.
And I was looking up some stuff just real quick for context. He, just like the Arizona Cardinals, have walked back the statement. Basically, he said, I probably should have been more detailed, more specific. It's not the majority of guys are that way.
Okay.
He has clarified his statement. But even in that, was that necessary? Like, is that value add? Like, what's the point, Chris?
Me personally, it just sounds like another hating old head that misses time because now players are getting $200+ million in guaranteed money. I'm dead serious. Like because I'm the young guy. I'm 21 years old. So when I hear these old heads sound like haters, I'm gonna call them out because not most of these old heads is mad because they're not getting this money. He want to talk about is this I, me, my. You got to take care of yourself first. At the end of the day, you giving yourself to a team. All the teams will always give themselves back to you. You were in a beautiful situation where they seemed, like you said, coddled you. They babied you because not every team, organization is doing that to their quarterback. So you were in a lucky situation. Okay, you got brought in a new coach. You had Hall of Famers when you were there. So you got babied and you got brought up. I disagree with everything he's saying. I think these players do care about teams. They care about winning, but you also have to make sure you take care of yourself and your family getting this money. It's just now everything is more publicized, so we're seeing how much money these guys are making. We're seeing their daily life, so people think they're so selfish. When I'm looking at these players getting better every single year for their team, So I disagree with everything he said. If you got a podcast, I am going to listen because I want to hear some old stories. How this dude never got tackled being like 300 pounds. But he look, dude's a legend. Dude's a legend. But I just feel like his comments was he needed to take. He was taking a sip of haterade. He needed to chill out. That's just how I feel.
Okay.
You really feel.
I don't have a whole lot to add to that. Dev, your thoughts?
Chris pretty much said it. But when you go to these rookie seminars, as you coming in as a rookie, they kind of one of the rules is that you are your own brand. Take care of yourself. Make sure that your brand and yourself is the main point, because if you're not good, that means you can't produce for your team is good. So if you out here on social media showing that you out here putting in work, that you showing that you trying to get some exposure for yourself, because maybe you're not a starting or a top 50 NFL player in this league, and the only way that you can get yourself noticeable out here is through social media. Mm-hmm. And if that's your way, then what's the problem with it? Because you got Greg Little that's out here in the San Francisco 49ers tight end out here putting in, showing that he's the best route running tight end. So if that's his way of showcasing his routes on social media, then why not do it? Why not show that, without equipment and without all this, I got the footwork. I can do this. Some tight ends can't do this. You know what I mean? So Ben, he just, like Chris said, he's just an old head that can't get on with the social media platform. He probably don't know how to work TikTok. So he got upset and was just like, oh, no, this ain't for me. So, yeah, that's how I look at it.
The book face and the tweeter.
I think y'all have covered it. I'm definitely leaning more of the Chris path. I've never been a big Ben fan personally, so
I ain't no Ben fan.
Yeah, but we know that.
I don't know. I don't get the point and what he was trying to say, or the reason in which he would say it. Sure, you could say guys are more me focused, but they'd be dumb not to be. Like, I think a lot of the issue is a lot of the older players wish they were more me first, and they sacrificed and laid it all out for the team. Especially look at people like Isaiah Thomas and others that played through all these debilitating injuries, and for what? So and didn't win rings because they wouldn't leave the team and died on that hill that now we're killing people for doing. So I think there's a lot of jealousy and bitterness. I'd be, if he comes out with something, I'm not gonna watch it. I have absolutely no interest in his thoughts or opinions. So you know, to each his own. Best of luck, but I was annoyed by it. And we will move to another quarterback because quarterbacks rule the world. And it's not really a quarterback. And I actually have a second question I'm gonna ask off of this.
The 52 fake out that was, boy.
This is a lead up.
No, it's just a follow up to this. So Julio Jones seemingly have been flowing under the radar, and who knew he was available to be signed for? And I don't think I've seen the terms come out yet.
I heard $6 million. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's only like a 1 year.
Yeah, well, I definitely heard 1 year 6. I might be wrong though, so don't quote me.
Okay. But the greatest quarterback of all time gets a historic Hall of Fame receiver, maybe later in his career. He obviously struggled staying healthy, but what kind of impact do you guys envision Julio having in kind of maybe the AB role or the Godwin role until Godwin gets back? And who's actually been cleared to practice, which is crazy because he just had the surgery, I think, in January. But what do you think this does for Tampa, adding of Julio? I'll start with you, Chris.
I mean, low risk, high reward. You don't hurt yourself by bringing in the Julio Jones. And it's sad that the path he was on in Atlanta, I mean, people were saying he was already looking like a top 3 receiver of all time. I mean, that's the path he was on. And in the past 2 years, he's been banged up with, some injuries that you don't like to see from an older receiver. That's just the truth. But if they're able to get the healthy Julio Jones and somehow he's able to stay healthy when Godwin gets there, because I think that's when you're going to get the best Julio. Because if you're asking him to do too much, you're going to get scared that he's been banged up. Last year, it was on paper, it looked nice him going to Tennessee, but it didn't work out on the field. I didn't see the best Julio Jones. So I'm curious to see what Julio Jones I'm going to see in Tampa. I think having a Tom Brady, a guy that knows how to make plays for others, you could kind of see him in a Gronkowski role, just a big body receiver, and he could be a real deep threat, him and Mike Evans, and then, do that run game. So, for me, if Julio is able to last till like December, or then that's the reward. If he's able to be there in the playoffs, and now you got Julio going against teams number 3 cornerbacks, then you're looking at a legit dynamic passing offense between Mike Evans, Godwin. You got Scotty Miller still. You got, Brate, and now you got a Julio. So the thing with Julio is you know what you're going to get out of him, especially with a Tom Brady. He's going to bring the best out of people. But the question is, can he stay healthy? If he's able to maintain health, and again, you're not asking him to do too much. I know Godwin's not going to be there, but if you're still able to minimize his role and get some of these young guys to play above their expectations, then I think that's going to be better for this team. But I'm excited, honestly, for him going to Tampa. I think him playing with the Tom Brady, he might have a chance to get a ring. That doesn't hurt the resume. I hope he's healthy, because if he's healthy, I think, not saying he's going to have this top 10 wide receiver numbers year, but I think he's going to have, a very quality, above average wide receiver year. You might see him just be a red zone target. Like, I think he's going to be able to be used in so many scenarios. The question is if he's healthy with Tampa, that it's a big reward. Low risk, big reward.
Okay. I like it. Dev.
It's a good pickup for Tampa Bay. He goes to a state that's always hot. He goes to a state that ain't got no state tax. So, pretty much that majority of that money is coming straight to him. And he, like Chris said, he's around good wide receivers, whether it's Mike Evans, whether it's Scotty Miller, whether when Godwin come back. So you don't have to put the whole plate in front of Julio and say, man, we need you to go eat out here, man. We need you to be 100 yards each game. We need you to make sure you get 100 receptions by the end of the year. He's not going to have to do none of that. You know, I think this is kind of open up for Mike Evans. People keep on sleeping on Mike Evans. He's one of the top wide receivers in the game. You know what I mean? He trashes, well, not trash, but he most definitely get the best of some of these corners that's out here. You know what I mean? He's most definitely look at Jalen Ramsey. Every time Jalen Ramsey get matched up with him, he get beat at least twice a game by Mike Evans. So, you know, now that you added Julio to the mix, it's like now, like Chris said, do you put your third best DB on him, or do you put your second best DB? But then you open up guys for Scotty Miller. So it's going to be a fun year, a challenging year down there for Tampa Bay, because I think New Orleans is not that far behind, especially now that they got Mike Thomas back this year. So I think it should be an interesting year down in that NFC South.
I agree.
Okay, Kenny.
Yeah, I just think it's a like to Chris's point, it's a low risk, high reward situation, and I think the other great part is that he doesn't have to be the guy like Chris said, is that he could just come in and be a second or a third wide receiver, kind of similar to AJ Green last year with the Cardinals. I think he's in a similar situation. And I think it's perfect for him. Also, the other point to Devin, being out there in Tampa where he'll be in warm weather, which I'm sure will agree much better with his body. You know, he's been banged up the last couple of years. I just think it's a win-win all the way around. So, and then, of course, the last thing, you with the GOAT. So he's going to always, put you in a position to be successful. And we know Julio Jones has always been known as a football, like a football lifer, and it's always been a guy that's, run great routes and always, can make the great catches and things of that sort. So I just think it's just another toy to add to Tom Brady's chest, and I'm sure he's salivating and can't wait to get on the field and really make it happen with him. So I'm excited for Julio Jones. I think this could be an opportunity for him to potentially get a ring on the back end.
Yeah, and Leonard Fournette has been salivating as well.
In the wrong way.
Man, don't sleep on Fournette, man. I'm looking at 1,000. Listen,
my man look like Charles Barkley right now.
I see him with 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. I'll put a bet on it.
I like playoff Lenny, but you got to chill out, bro. You're doing a lot. No, I think it's great. I think when we saw Antonio Brown skip off the field and we saw Godwin go down and we didn't see necessarily a big replacement this offseason at the wide receiver position, and with Gronk retiring, I think you kind of started to look around like Brady, but it's a little thin and he's a little older. I think the key is health. But I think if Julio's healthy, and come, that playoff run, you got Godwin, Evans, and Julio with Brady.
And Scotty Miller.
And their tight end.
He's solid.
And Bernard.
I'm saying he is solid.
Yeah.
You're a little solid and you're in wide receiver, you know what I mean? That do all the grunt work like the what's the dude name Raiders? Renfro? Like that.
Yeah. I think Renfro's a little better, but you got Scotty Miller. You can just use them in different areas.
Yeah.
So I think that starts to look a little scary when you got to match up with that. So I think on paper it should be great. Too often in sports, when stuff like this happens, it doesn't materialize into what we anticipate it will be. I hope it is for Julio's sake. I've been a fan. I think he got stuck a bit in Atlanta a little too long. Took maybe a couple of hits he didn't need to take on a non-competitive team, but it happens.
I'll say this though real quick, Ray. The reason, and you're right, usually stuff like this, it rarely works. I remember when the Rams, when they brought in Talib, they brought all them guys. But I look at what happened with OBJ last year. Now he went to a different situation, a winning situation, how he thrived over there. Not saying Julio is going to have, that crazy bounce back, but that gave me faith that Julio is going to have a good year with Tampa. The OBJ situation with the Rams is making me have faith right now what's going to happen with Julio in Tampa.
Absolutely. And we did have a question that kind of went along with it, so I wanted to wait and pull this up. Will we see a Big Ben moment in Tom Brady this year, or do you see Brady getting hit more this year to make him leave early? My answer is I don't really understand the Big Ben moment in the first part,
me neither.
But I don't think he's going to get hit. I think they're going to. They did just. I think the center went down, and they said it doesn't.
Yeah, Jensen went down. They trying to figure out is it going to be an ACL or not, or how serious is it.
So that's obviously not the start you want. He's obviously an important piece to the line, but until it happened, I just can't believe it. Like I've been wrong way too many times to start going against what I believe now. So
I think the question was, how Ben started off that season. He was shaky in the beginning of the season, but it's time for Ben to retire. You can see it in his arms. I guess that's the beginning of the question he's trying to ask. Is he going to have like that Big Ben moment like that? I guess that's the only way I look at it.
I don't see it. I
because
remember
he didn't have no injury.
Yeah, like years back. I remember it's been a while. I remember that he started off shaky with the Patriots a while back, but I don't see it honestly with Tom. And I got to give it, and not to even talk about LeBron, but those two guys. Like I just want to give, especially Tom Brady, their credit on you can't stop Father Time, but they found a way to really slow Father Time down and get the best out of their older age. And I'm looking at Tom Brady, what he's doing, and Ray, years back I got upset at people calling Tom Brady to go and just loving him so much, but he really set himself apart from everybody else to the point where it's really not even a discussion anymore.
I don't see no more 40-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, the discussion. Like in my lifetime, he's the great. He might be the greatest athlete.
Because these guys are making so much money. I don't think we'll ever see it again.
Nah.
I mean, I think that's the thing. If you're good enough and you're 38, it's hard to turn down by that point. What you like $500 million over 4 years or something.
That's what I'm saying. But I think you got guys like you got these guys signing 400 and like Mahomes. I don't see him. You got 400 something. Josh Allen got 400 something.
Mahomes
you see these guys playing into their late 30s.
Yeah, Mahomes got that 10-year 500. That 500. He got that team friendly deal. It's going to kick in towards the back end. He gonna get 1 year like $59 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but they gonna restructure that probably 6 times before that 10 years.
I'm sure, but still, I'm
push money up.
Like probably bagging. You still gonna wind up bringing home at least 350, I would think, out of that. So, what is the
more like 400?
Kenny, to me, it's almost like Mayweather. With the way the rules are made, I can keep playing and making these huge paydays. Why not? Like, if you love the game. And you don't have a Kyler Murray problem where you don't want to study.
But I mean, as much as the rules are, you're still taking hits. It's not like you're not getting touched at all. I mean, but don't get me wrong. The rules are definitely to cater to the quarterback.
45 to 50, 60 million a year, I'm gonna take some of them hits. And maybe when in 10, 20 years, I'll look back and say maybe I shouldn't have. $50-60 million a year, like that's that's hard to turn down if they offer it to you. That's all I'm saying. But will they be able to play at the level, which I think is what, and we won't spend a lot of time on LeBron. I think that is what makes LeBron so great, is how great he's playing at this point.
For sure.
Even if it's not correlating to winning and all that, but it's something.
It's something
he had the body. He had the Zion-ish body type, but was able to keep it in check his whole career and stay healthy. And people that have that build, they just can't maintain it the way he has. And that's a huge shout out to him. And he figured it out early, and I think Tom did too. And I don't know all that Alex Guerrero does, but he keep playing. So shout out to that. But I did want to ask, and Dev, you kind of stole my shine with the question. My follow-up was, so what's a bigger deal, or who do you think will have the bigger impact, Julio or Michael Thomas returning? And I'll start with you, Chris.
Michael Thomas. No offense. No, don't get me wrong. This is no offense to Julio, but Mike Evans is the clear-cut number one. Julio's obviously there for, again, the low risk, high reward. Michael Thomas, he's breaking all time records. He was looked at as the best receiver in the game. So when you're bringing that back to a Jameis Winston, you're looking at Michael Thomas to again have this Pro Bowler, All Pro type of year, and you got a Jarvis Landry. So it's not like he's going to get double teamed or triple teamed a lot. We're expecting. I don't know about y'all, but I never, they call him the short route king. I blame that more on Drew Brees not being able to throw the long ball than Mike Thomas. So I did, me personally. I was giving Mike Thomas the nod. I think he's better than what a lot of people give him credit for. He just played the Drew Brees' strengths, not trying to hurt his weaknesses. So I think if Jameis can throw that long ball, Mike Thomas is going to go back and put up some good numbers. That's just me personally. I'm a Mike Thomas fan. I think he's a very good receiver. He's more than just a slant guy. He can run a lot of those routes in the route tree, and I think his return to football, a lot of people forgot about him, and he's going to make a lot of people wake up.
Okay. I like to hear it. I'll go to you, Dev.
Mike Thomas gonna have a better year. Mike Thomas, just a couple of years ago before his injury, Mike Thomas was leading the NFL in receptions and yards. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if he was Drew Brees playing dink and dunk with him, he was still leading in those categories as a top wide receiver, supposed to be leading in. So Mike Thomas, like Chris said, Julio is not going to have that much of a big role down in Tampa. He gonna have his thing. He's gonna have his moment that everybody be like, oh, Julio is back. He's due for 1 or 2 games, a big breakout game, in my opinion, at his age for Julio. But Mike Thomas is probably he's been out for a year and some change now. He got fresh legs. He got a quarterback.
Crazy. For him,
he got a quarterback that's not scared to throw the ball deep also. So Mike Thomas is most definitely gonna have I don't know if he's gonna have a breakout year, but he most definitely gonna have a solid year.
It's hard to say breakout with these numbers that I'm looking at right now, but I see him returning back to at least 1,000 yards, and close
comeback
to
player of the year.
By far.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
By far.
And you think that would be less valuable than what Michael Thomas is gonna put out?
Wait, what?
Oh, you talking about who's gonna come back?
Oh, I guess we can have that conversation. Y'all are leaning Michael Thomas as comeback player of the year.
I mean, I really did vote on it, but I mean, I don't see why if he has a big number. I got to look at who would be considered, but I think he's going to have an argument to be made. I think that
I would argue McCaffrey, Julio, and him.
Julio is not going to have the type of year Mike Thomas is going to have.
No,
and Julio played last year. Mike Thomas. We haven't seen Mike Thomas play since 2020.
That's important to me. And before I go, I'll give Kenny a chance to get in. Go ahead, Kenny.
Oh yeah, no, it's Michael Thomas, because when you talk about in terms of skill set, in terms of impact, I think that's the difference is that, and I think Michael Thomas is one of those guys where and I should say look out for the New Orleans Saints. I think Clyde is kept. I think they're going to be one of those dark horse contenders. I don't think that they take a step back next year losing Sean Payton. To be honest with you, I think they get a full season of Jameis Winston being healthy, and we're assuming, and Michael Thomas being healthy. I think they're going to really give Tampa a run for their money in the NFC South. To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear y'all. I do.
Here comes different.
Here comes Ray Bayless. Ray Bayless to the front stage. Ray Bayless.
Here it comes.
Here's where I get a little nervous. You have, in essence, a new quarterback, or not a new quarterback. You have an older quarterback and a new system. You probably will be without Alvin Kamara, which we've heard nothing about what's going on with him. But initially, it sounded pretty bad. So we don't know if you're going to have him to start your year. You have Michael Thomas coming back. We don't know he was never necessarily a burner. So with lower leg injuries, we have no idea what we're getting out of him. And that division ain't bad. It ain't great, but it's not bad. I look at what we saw OBJ become. I look at what even we saw Antonio Brown become. We saw what Gronk became. With Tom Brady, it's just different. And I think he's going to provide, especially without Gronk there, you have somebody that can be in the middle of the field. He's a big enough body. Now, do you want him taking a lot of hits? You don't. But I think in that offensive system, I think they can do a lot of things with somebody like Julio Jones. And I just don't. I know a lot of people are high on New Orleans. I just don't trust the coaching, and I can't really trust Jameis. I like Jameis, but I don't know what I'm going to get yet. I saw what Jameis was on the verge of being, but that was under a different regime.
Look, Jameis or Carson Wentz?
Jameis.
Okay. Just asking.
But that's not saying a lot.
So another question. I'm not going Chris route, but who you think gonna get more targets, Michael Thomas or Julio?
No, that was a real
Michael
question.
Thomas.
Okay,
he's definitely gonna get more targets.
Okay.
I think game by game. I think early in the year, Julio might be outpacing him until Jameis gets on the same wavelength. But Jarvis Landry is gonna take some of those, but I think Michael Thomas is definitely gonna get the targets.
Olave. Don't want to mess up his name. I think he's gonna get a couple looks.
Olave, yeah.
He's young, and they had another young guy. I can't remember his name, but he was a deep threat for them last year, and I think he was a rookie, a young guy, so he was all right too. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but we'll see what comes of it and how they use everybody. But I do want to transition. We're a little after, the halfway point here to the NBA. And I think we were all in agreement. We thought Banchero should have went 1. And he's got a Jordan deal. So congratulations to him, signed with Team Jordan. I think that is a great start for him. It's kind of interesting with him, the school he played for, but business is business, I guess.
So, that robbery don't come in that business.
I guess Zion went to the same school too, so and he's Team Jordan. So I guess Mike has already shown his ability to cross the lines and do that. So shout out to him, congratulations, and hopefully more and more things continue to come from him. But I did want to have this conversation because I know if I had phrased it one way, y'all would have shouted me down like y'all always try to do. When Ray Stradamus gets to educating the class. So the question is, do you think Steph Curry, the most recent ESPY host, would trade his career for LeBron's? And I will start with you, Chris.
No, I think Steph Curry's career fits perfect with how his life went. I look at him, and yes, his dad was in the league, but he had to work. Not saying LeBron didn't have to work, but everything wasn't a handout. He had to grind in high school, grind in college. So just to become, and like we're gonna look at LeBron's career. Nobody's had more hype coming into the league than LeBron. Nobody. It's not even close. And I look at the route Steph Curry has taken. I think it fits him perfect. Staying with one team, not only changing the culture for that team, but changing the culture for the league for what you're doing on that team. I honestly think Steph would not trade his career with LeBron. And, I don't want to talk about the second part, but I'm in agreement on the same thing I said at the beginning. I don't see Steph wanting to trade his career with LeBron. I think he written his own story, 2-time MVP, back-to-back, unanimous MVP, He got to hate on people. You got to, take a little crap on the haters this year when in his finals MVP, breaking Ray Allen's record. I mean, I think his career is perfect for him. I can't imagine it any other way.
Okay. Dev?
No, I don't think he will want to trade because you got to think he won up on LeBron for his championship. So I don't think he was. They tied? Oh, I was going to say, ain't they won up? But I wouldn't trade it. Steph was, people didn't really believe in Steph in the beginning of his career. Everybody was like, oh, with ankle injury, he ain't gonna last that long, and he's too frail, and all this other stuff. But then Steph just came out of nowhere and kept grinding, kept getting better each year after each year, and it was showing after him, like Chris said, getting back-to-back MVPs, being the first unanimous MVP. LeBron haven't did that, and LeBron had all this hype coming into the league, and he couldn't still win unanimous MVP. And you had everybody pretty much liking you when you first came in the league. It wasn't till people started hating LeBron until he went to Miami. They were like, "Oh no, he's the bad guy. He's the villain."
Because I think people forget that.
You know what I mean? So, I don't think. Why would you trade? You know what I mean? You got certain things that LeBron's probably not gonna get. LeBron's never gonna get that Ray Allen 3-point record. LeBron is not gonna get unanimous MVP. LeBron is not going. LeBron probably not going. Well, he ain't staying with one team like Steph did. So, it's a lot of things that I'm pretty sure LeBron will probably take away. Like, dang, I wouldn't mind having what Steph had too. So, I don't think. I think is Steph. He's happy with his legacy that he's built.
Okay. Kenny, we'll finish up with you.
Yeah, I agree with the guys. I think it's, I think Steph would definitely not want to trade places with LeBron at all. The biggest thing is he's a rare, now he's the, one of the few of a dying breed where a superstar stays with one team for his entire career. And that's what it looks like it's going to happen with Steph Curry, and all other accolades speak for themselves. And I think the other thing is that if you ask LeBron in a private moment, or if you had a heart-to-heart talk with him, I think if you presented him the option of being able to win all those rings in Cleveland, I think he would have taken it.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that.
So that's why I think that's why I think there's no way that he would want to change places.
So that Kenny, that's a perfect segue, because that was going to be one of my biggest points to this next part of this topic. Do you think the same is true of LeBron? With all that he's accomplished, he's going to break Kareem's record. He did win one for Cleveland, but he's also had some tough times. He's lost a lot, 4 and 6 in the finals. He's lost to Steph quite a few times. So that, I believe, factors into this conversation. But beating Steph also, in his mind, from what he said, made him the greatest of all time. So with kind of that framework, and obviously we're not talking about swapping families and kids and all that. Actually,
right.
Both got a bunch of kids, but taking all that off the table. Do you think LeBron? Oh, and actually, I agree with y'all. I don't think Steph trades that, mainly for Kenny's point, to do that in Golden State and stay there, overcoming, especially this last year. But with that being said, do you guys think the same is true, that with all that LeBron did, he would keep his career versus trading it with Steph? And I'll start back with you, Kenny, since we ended with you.
Okay, yeah, I think he would. I think he would trade it, to be able to stay in one place and to have all of that success in one place. I think he would trade it. I think he would think that would make his legacy even greater. I think that there would be less of a debate. I think in his mind, if he did what Steph Curry did in terms of the GOAT thing or the GOAT debate, I think if he does that, he feels like that there's even less of a debate as to whether or not that he's the GOAT. So I just think that, but having said all of that, I want to make sure I applaud LeBron, because to me, he's the face of the player empowerment movement. And to be honest with you, seeing what these guys are doing in the NFL, and this is slightly off topic, seeing these guys now hold down and making sure that they're getting their money and not reporting to camp, I think that's a direct result of LeBron James. So while he probably would want to switch places with Steph Curry, I think the impact that he's had on a broader stage, I don't think that he would want to trade that with Steph Curry. I think he would keep the impact that he's had off the court
in the bank account.
All of that. Yeah, of course. That goes without saying. He would take that over Steph Curry. Steph Curry's career 10 times out of 10.
Okay. Chris.
You know, Kenny, I agree with you on the fact that I feel like I think he would rather have won all his rings in Cleveland. But I look at the way his career is going and how it still can go. And, you know, it's a lot of narratives when you look at LeBron, and that's what happens when you bounce around. But one narrative, you know, I look at and I can say is he came and he changed so many franchises that you could say that's a part of his greatness. You know, so if he's able to win another ring in LA and if he moves on and somehow wins in another franchise, I think that's I would give that the same amount of credit as if stayed with one team, because I look at you being able to adapt. You know, I look at you being able to adapt and change a lot of franchises' history. He brought Cleveland out the slums. You know, he went to Miami. He helped make them a winning franchise again. He went back to Cleveland, won them a ring. He brought LA out the dirt when they were just a young team. They was going to just stay afloat for a couple of years. You know, so not taking any away from Steph or LeBron. You know, I think it's tough. So I'm going to agree with Kenny on the fact that he would want to stay in one place, but I don't necessarily think I don't think either guy would trade their career for each other's. I think it fits them, their stories and their play styles. You know, like Kenny said, that the LeBron player empowerment, like he was the perfect player to do that. You know, I don't see anybody more perfect than LeBron on the wave that we're on. Again, had the most hype out of anybody coming out the NBA, you know, coming to the NBA. Probably the most scrutinized player of all time. So why not turn all that into, okay, I'm going to look what I'm doing now, player empowerment, and look how that changed everything. And now he's going to be talked about with that movement for forever. In every single league, everybody going to say, well, LeBron started it. And I think that doesn't happen if he stays in Cleveland. So I think, you know, in the business move. So I don't think they traded. I don't think he trades career for Steph. I think, you know, he's looking at Steph like, man, one franchise is cool, but what he did, man, I don't see him wanting to trade that career away.
Interesting takes. I'm going to lean on. I would have to lean on the Kenny side and the Dev side. I think, as great as LeBron's individual accomplishments, from what I've seen from him as like a player and the type of player he wants to be, and I believe his desire to be liked, I think
that's a definite factor.
I think the Steph route is different. Like, for the most part, like there's people that might hate on Steph because maybe you rate him too high, but generally speaking, he's loved by like everybody. Like, he didn't leave, he stayed, and especially now after he won without Kevin Durant, like you got people talking about Steph crazy. Like, well, not crazy, but you know, the top 10 all time, top 2 or 3 point guards. Like, his ascent has been just crazy with this last ring, and I think that is something that LeBron has wanted. I think he's leaned into the villain role, but I don't think that's him by nature. I think his nature is to be liked. It is to be, 100%. You know, popular and all of those things. And so I think you would make that change. Obviously the follow-up to that is, given that scenario that we've discussed, why is the gap so vast between people's perceptions of these two players? I think most people would say LeBron's a much better player than Steph, and it's not even close based on what he's done. But if we're saying that LeBron would probably take Steph's career and Steph wouldn't take LeBron's, why do we believe that gap is so wide? And if you disagree with that, then we can have that conversation. But Dev, I'd like your thoughts.
My bad. I'm reading this text message from my daughter. Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Just kind of given the circumstance of LeBron potentially I think you said in your opinion, taking Steph's career, Steph not taking LeBron's career. Why is LeBron viewed as so much of a better player than Steph, considering just the context? Most people would say LeBron's 1 or 2 all time. A lot of people still don't even think Steph's top 10. So why is there such a big gap if, based on our conversation, Steph's had the better career?
I think the gap, because the hype. LeBron came with the hype, and LeBron, you know, and the hype just stuck with him. And, you know, a lot of people, I guess you know how social media is. Once you get that social media trend, you know, majority of people
it's over.
Follow that. You know what I mean? And that's what happened with LeBron. He was like that social media trend that started, and everybody was like, you know what? Forget MySpace. Let's go to Facebook now. So, we're going to stick with this, and Facebook haven't did us wrong yet. And I think that's the way it's viewed to, Steph Curry. Not saying that Steph Curry is just a MySpace and people forgot about him or anything in that nature, but it's just like LeBron was just that guy. You were just like, you just felt like you have to like him, or you have to be around him to be a part of that social media trend that's going on right now. Versus Steph just came out of nowhere. Now he's the new wave. Steph can change this, and but people still won't give him that credit. Mm-hmm. But Steph is the same guy that revolutionized the game by changing the 3-point game and all this other stuff, but still won't put him in that top tier for some strange reason. I'm guessing because he's light skinned, you know what I mean? That's like the only reason that I can come up with, you know what I mean? But it's just LeBron it was just that wave that everybody just haven't got off yet. I think that's what it is.
Okay. Kenny?
I went already. I was first.
On why you think the perception is the way it is?
No. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I don't know. That whole perception thing, I think it's more so because of the moving around. I think that's the what a lot of people are really to hold against LeBron is the moving around, especially the Miami one. The Miami one, like everybody, a lot of people was basically they put it on him basically this whole team up era in terms of
which
why
is false, by the way.
I know because it happened way before him, but I think they put it on. I think they put that on him, and I think that's why the perception is what it is about him. But like I said before, like all of the other stuff, all of the positives far outweigh any of the negative. So like whatever your perception is, like if it's not ultimately positive, then something's wrong with you.
Okay. And Chris, you're.
I mean, I kind of look at it like this, Steph.
You got a rocking chair?
Oh no! It's just It's an old chair. It's an old chair.
Oh boy, the way how you leaned up was like, I said, thanks.
I look at it, like Steph caught the young fan eye, kind of like LeBron did. LeBron caught the young fan eye, but Steph caught it during the social media era, where social media really blew up. And you capture, not the true fan, but the regular fan that I only watch once every 15 games fan, then you're gonna get looked at different. And so Steph is getting put on a pedestal where he can do no wrong, but by some fans. But the true basketball people say he's not this and he's not that. But you look at your local fan or your normal fan, they're going to say Steph is one of the best ever because they see the highlights and they see him being a wave. But maybe the past 7 years, you could argue he's been the best player in the face of NBA the past 7 years since they won their first title. So, I think social media had a big part of it. But honestly, it's tough because I'm going to give Steph his flowers and his credit. What he's done in his career, and again, these past 7 years, you could put that up with a lot of people's resume in these past 7 years. I mean, two MVPs, 4 championships, finals MVP, all these all NBAs. I mean, he's done it all. So it's just, I think it boils down to people start to hate, which is sad. Not saying we're hating, but a lot of people start to hate and they start to pick and choose, and they're saying they can't be one without the other. So you're either going to see people all the way with LeBron or all the way with Steph. There's not a lot of people in between, saying that they're both talented and they're both this and they're both that. There's either LeBron is the king or Steph is the king. And you're really going to see that, honestly, on who wins the next championship. Because don't let Steph Curry win a championship. Let him go back-to-back this year. A lot of people are going to say LeBron who, which is crazy, but that's how it's going to be.
And don't be surprised if they start trying to put him in the GOAT conversation.
Oh, he wins 5 back-to-back. He goes back-to-back twice. He's for sure in my top 10. He does that.
So if Steph get 5, do you put him in that tier with Kobe?
Yeah.
Nah, he passed Kobe to me, and I love Kobe, but he get 5.
Already? You got him already past Kobe without the fifth one?
No.
Oh,
not
if
without.
he gets the fifth one.
Yeah,
Okay,
if he get a 5th one, and obviously
if he get the 5th one,
a 5th with another 2 Finals MVPs.
I don't put him past
and,
Cole.
In the LeBron, I think I would. In the LeBron era, like,
yeah, I think I might have to do that.
You put him past Cole?
I'm not.
Yeah, so can we talk about the top 10 list then? I don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to steal your thunder now, but now I gotta hear these lists, right? I got to hear these lists.
I
think I talked about my list. But
I thought we did talk about the list last time.
Where was I at? When we did the top 10 all time? No, I thought you said we was going to do.
I don't think we got yours though. Because Freddie was on here. Wasn't Freddie on here talking? Did we have him on the show talking on the group chat?
Was this recent?
I thought we started in the group chat and then we wanted on to the episode like that same day or something in that nature.
I don't know. I don't feel like
after the Warriors won a championship.
I don't remember Kenny.
Yeah, didn't we write them down?
I remember. This is all I'm gonna say. I remember a couple shows ago.
Oh, you know what? We did the top 10 NFL. I think it was the quarterback.
Yeah, we got.
I don't remember hearing Kenny's top 10.
Yeah, because I remember we said we was going to do it on the show, but Ray went MIA for a little bit.
Oh yeah, you know what? We did in the group chat, and then I don't think we talked about on the show. I remember us having that conversation in the group chat though, because I remember somebody had picked Bird over Steph or something like that.
We can get to it. I hope there's not too many wide-ranging opinions. I feel like we should be pretty.
I'll call last. Kenny got to go first. That's how we carrying it.
Dang.
I forgot my list.
Yeah, I gotta see if I can find mine too.
Oh man, I put y'all on the spot, man.
It's cool. I will.
Hey, you should go first then, Chris, since you put us on the spot.
Exactly. I don't even have my list. That's why
So how you gonna pump fake like that? You did the Kobe Bryant pump fake, didn't you? Pump fake like 10 times in one possession.
Watch how I put it together that quick though.
So real quick, I'll give y'all a little bit of time as well because I didn't get to finish up. I think a big part of the perception is Bron puts up ridiculous numbers. And I think the way Bron putting up numbers, Steph hasn't put up. He does it from 3, but he hasn't done it all around. Like LeBron has the chase down block, so he has a huge defensive play. He has the points that he's about to pass. He has the assists. He has rebounds. He has triple doubles. I think the perception is, and it might be, I would say it probably is true, is he has a bigger role maybe in his team's success because he took the terrible team all the way to the finals and he beat the Pistons. Like he has those stories. So yes, he's lost a lot more in the finals, but he also has more heroic stories where Steph, 2 of his rings came with Kevin Durant and they were the best team with arguably the 2 greatest shooters. So I think Steph takes hits there, but I think if you really sat down and objectively just looked at the 2 players' impacts on everything basketball, I think they're a lot closer than people would have you believe they are. But I think LeBron looks like he should be that way, and Steph looks like another guy. And I think that also plays against him. But hopefully that gave y'all some time. But I will also give you a little bit more, and I wish I had mine written down.
Are we doing all time or
all time?
All time. So I'm going MJ 1. I'm going Kobe 2. I'm going Kareem 3. I'm going Bron 4. I'm going, who do I have? I got Wilt 5. I got, who do I have at 6? Who do I have at 6? I don't want to put him at 6. I have a right to change this, but right now I'm going to go Curry at 6. I'm going Magic at 7.
That's where we talked about this already. Because when you said that, it just triggered me. We had this discussion before. Triggered me. We had this discussion. We'll continue.
That's what I was saying. We had this.
Yeah, right. I know we had in the group chat. I didn't know if
we talked about Magic and Curry. We never had.
No. What it was me, Kenny, and Ray that had this conversation because I remember Kenny got mad that you put Magic so low down in the rankings. Yes. And then we had this conversation. Chris wasn't in this conversation.
It just came flooding back. The memories came flooding back.
Okay. I got Duncan 8. I got Oscar 9, and I got. Oh no, I'm tripping. I gotta fix something. I got Shaq 8. I got Shaq 8. Duncan 9.
Did you say Kareem?
Yeah, he said Kareem.
Okay.
So I got Magic, Kobe, Kareem, Bron, Wilt, Curry, Magic, Shaq, Duncan, Oscar.
You said Magic twice, or you?
No Bill Russell.
Nah, I don't got Bill.
All right, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure, just want to make sure I wasn't tripping.
Yeah, he got a ton of rings, but I don't view Russell like most.
Kenny, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's hear it.
Kenny, talk to me.
All right, I got MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Wilt, Duncan, Shaq, Kobe, Oscar, and Russell. Ben Wallace.
Who said Ben Wallace?
Who said Ben Wallace? I'm still trying to get my list together.
All right, you need me to go, Dev?
Yeah, I need you to go.
Wait.
That just messed me up when I saw that, man.
He's trolling.
He got Wade ahead of Shaq. He got Dirk ahead of Shaq.
Yeah,
he's trolling. The first, he might be serious about the first 5.
The first 5, I can argue. Ben Wallace, and I like Wade, but he ain't better than Steph at this. But Damon, we appreciate that entertainment.
I'm ready.
Right.
Jay, Chris, you ready? Let's go.
Yeah. I'm going Bron 1, MJ 2.
Here we go.
Kareem 3, Magic 4, Kobe 5, Luka 6. Nah, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm going Duncan 6, Shaq 7, Wilt 8. Oh, let me restart. Bron 1, MJ 2, Kareem 3, Magic 4, Kobe 5, Duncan 6, Shaq 7, Wilt 8, Bird 9, and Hakeem 10.
All right, so here's what I need.
Look, Curry. Look. When the first time I did this, I didn't have Wilt in my list. So if somebody's to come out, is Wilt for Curry. But we need to give Hakeem credit for winning championships with no All-Star.
Oh no, Hakeem is a beast.
So I got to give credit where credit is
due. So do we need to have the conversation now?
What?
Or do we want to get through Devs? Because your 1 and 2 is
my 1 and 2 is not crazy.
It's wrong.
How are you gonna tell me it's wrong?
Because it's just wrong.
Like see there goes the old heads hating again. Why is it wrong?
One guy,
oh man. Okay, we'll just do this.
I'm gonna just go with mine real quick, Ray, before you, because I feel like you about to get deep into it. So
for no reason, because I'm not gonna go back and forth with them. Because it's an
I'm gonna go MJ. I'm gonna go MJ, Kobe, Bron, Kareem, Shaq, Magic, Steph, Duncan, Bird, Green.
So we're all pretty close.
I might take Wood out for Curry, but I kind of want to show homage to these older guys, but it's like it'd be tough sometimes, man. Evolution hits. So
a guard averaging a triple-double back then with the bigs dominating to me is super impressive.
Yeah, I know it's tough. That's why these lists are tough, man.
But so So you value longevity. That's the only way you can possibly have LeBron over MJ. It's just because he's played a long time and he's put up a bunch of numbers. But what other part of their game or career is LeBron's greater than MJ?
I can't value longevity and him having numbers and him having 4 MVPs, him having 4 rings, a chance to still get more. I mean, his career is still being written. It's not over.
It's getting worse though.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. He's not winning. He's getting less and less competitive.
So MJ won every year. He never lost.
I didn't say that, but he won 6 and 13 years.
Okay.
Bron's won 4 and 20.
That's cool.
No, that's
Brown.
cool.
Brown went to the chip half his career. Like Brown went to the chip half his career. Like we're not that doesn't get no brownie points.
So he was always, the what do you call it? Not the bridesmaid, not the bride. Like 16 times.
Ooh.
Like he's not won a ring.
Yeah, he did.
3 more than Jordan played.
And what's your point?
One's a better than the other.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
No, it's statistically proven one won at a better clip than the other.
And Bill Russell won better than all of them. So why are we talking about winning?
Because
why are we talking about winning, right? Bill Russell has 11 rings. Don't talk to me about rings. I'm not. Everything you're telling to me is obsolete because you're talking about rings, and MJ isn't the best at rings.
This is what always happens when you talk to LeBron people.
No, but I'm
changing the.
I'm not changing anything. But like, why are you mad at me because I got Bron number 1? Like okay, MJ has better rings.
The conversation.
MJ has better rings. What else does he have other than rings better than LeBron?
I'm just
all defensive teams, scoring titles.
Okay. LeBron took less shots and scored more points. So who's really a better scorer? Because if LeBron wanted to score, he showed that he could score with the best of them. But he's a playmaker.
So this is another thing, and I've had this argument a lot. LeBron shot a ton of more 3-pointers than Michael Jordan did. So it's obviously
whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? MJ would work for because people were shooting back then. Because Steph Pop was shooting back then. People were shooting back then. Look, MJ was so dominant he didn't have to shoot threes. He was so dominant he didn't have to shoot threes.
And the LeBron era teams shoot double, almost triple the amount of threes. The game changed. It's not a.
So you want to discredit a player because of evolution?
You asked the question.
We're discrediting players because of evolution.
It is.
That's what we're doing.
It is easier to accumulate points when you shoot more 3-pointers than 2-pointers. That's just fact.
I mean, when you shoot double the shots, all it goes away anyway. When you shoot 30 shots a game, LeBron not shooting 30 shots a game. Like, what are we talking about?
Shoot 30 shots a game on a regular basis. And yes,
that's hilarious.
That is a factor. But I'm simply speaking to how you can have more points on less shots. If you're shooting more 3-pointers, that's going to make up a difference. And the number
like the 3-pointer wasn't around back then. And stop saying it didn't start with Curry. Curry didn't change the 3-pointer.
And you are ignoring the fact that they shoot more now. Like that's just a fact. I'm confused on why it don't matter. It don't matter. Kareem got the most points of all time, and he did one shot. Kareem did one shot. He never shot a 3. MJ shot 3s. Yeah, Kareem got more points. Karl Malone got more points. He didn't shoot no 3s. So why are we talking about 3s? So then you can't just focus on one.
I'm saying
how many years did Kareem play?
A lot.
At a certain point, that also matters.
20,
so if I shoot way more 3s and I play a really long time, I'm probably going to have more points.
Then MJ should have scored more because I'm not like you mean like what you saying not going to change my mind. It's an opinion list.
I'm not trying to change
when LeBron retires. Look. When LeBron retires with the most points of all time, he probably going to get 40,000. Tell somebody to beat that, right? When LeBron retires with 40,000 points, more than 10,000 rebounds, more than 10,000 assists, on top 10s for assists, the most versatile player of all time. He should have won the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, championship, all that in the same year, but he lost to Marc Gasol, who wasn't even first team all defense. So don't tell me MJ is all, MJ is a great defender, don't get me wrong, but don't act like LeBron's not no slouch. Everybody discredit LeBron.
Can I intervene real quick? I just seen something on Facebook that it's kind of backs y'all statements up. A 40-year-old Michael Jordan won more games than with the Kwame Brown, Tyronn Lue, then LeBron won with the future 4 Hall of Famers with AD, Melo, Russ, and D. Howard. They said the 02 03 Wizards won 37 games. Last year, Lakers only won 33.
I know, right? That don't mean nothing. You're doing in the playoffs to me. I'm gonna be honest with you.
So do we want to talk playoffs? So what you're telling me is this player, they got 40,000 points, 10,000 assists, 10,000 rebounds. Why did he only win 4 times if he was so great?
I mean, if MJ was so great, scoring 37 points in a regular season, why did it take him all these years to win?
He said, wait, hold on. Say that again, Ray.
If LeBron is this guy with 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists, the most versatile player all time, got robbed of the defensive player of the year, all that stuff that he just said, why didn't he win more? Then the guy who had all these lesser stats.
Like winning everything. I'm just yes or no. Is winning everything, right?
That's why they play the game. That's
okay. So why is Bill Russell? So why is Bill Russell not number one? Why is Bill Russell not number one? If winning is everything, if we value winning so much, why is Bill Russell not number one?
What are the rest of Bill Russell's career stats?
Don't matter because they didn't keep the stats back then. Oh my God, they had blocks and steals. Are you kidding me? You know what his numbers would probably look like?
I know what they are. I know what they're recorded as.
And they're bad numbers. They're bad. So over 20 rebounds a game.
So all I can go off is what they are. Now, if you
11, but we value winning though. 11 rings, like 11 is almost more double than 6. We value rings, right?
And that's why he's in almost everyone's top 10 because
he should be number one if winning is so important. Matter of fact, scratch this. Kareem's number one. Somebody tell me why he's not. That's how I'm about to start carrying it because we want to talk about rings. Kareem got them. MVPs. Kareem got them.
That's your opinion.
All defensive teams. Kareem got them. Like
and we talk about 3 for a reason.
All we talk about is accomplishments and winning. Like.
Yes, that is what we are talking
about. And LeBron checks those boxes. I just feel like y'all mad because somebody taking away y'all hero. The new heroes in town.
Look, y'all hero. MJ is not my hero.
Y'all hero was MJ, right? Just like everybody else. Everybody else hero, excuse me, was Bill. Then it was Magic. Everybody get mad. I'm probably gonna get mad at the next GOAT when they say it's going to be Luka or Giannis.
So
it's evolution. I'm convinced.
So if you do it at a lesser clip than the guy you're comparing to,
I'm off the hill. Kareem's the GOAT. That's what I'm arguing until LeBron retires.
I mean, you can argue that. I think you're still wrong.
How? Because what does Michael Jordan have over Kareem now? Same amount of rings, MVPs. Defensive players, all defensive teams.
I'm pretty sure if we really dig into it, MJ has more accolades. Now he's going to factor into college. If you want to factor into college, Kareem arguably the greatest college basketball player.
Let's go back to high school. No. Forget college. Let's go back to high school. Kareem the most winning player back then. We going all the way back then. We going all the way back then. Look,
I don't want to care about what you did in high school unless you're
we talking about basketball.
Back then.
We going all the way back then. Until LeBron retires, I'm arguing Kareem. I don't want to take up nobody more time. But listen, next show, best believe I'm gonna have all the accolades printed out for everybody. Let's really talk about it. That's all I'm going to say.
Jordan still
everybody in the league or everybody top 10.
He's going to do his research and realize he should just stop. I think that's
okay. Look. All right, please listen. How much more time we got left? I type fast, man. I want a war for being the typer.
We only got to go. So I don't want to rush it. I want you to take all the time you need. You're young.
He got to do his homework.
Wait.
And I do want to give a quick disclaimer. Chris has been fighting COVID and this new strain. Of
no. Look, I got the stat.
First of all, I know, I would never get sick and tell Ray.
Yeah, because Ray going in the back pocket now. Like, come on, Ray. I wasn't ready for that.
So Ray, you got long sleeves on? My man was like, let me get all up in there.
Let me, like it's crazy out here, man. It's a cold world.
As much as we shooting, I know he ain't talking. But I do want to actually address another topic. And speaking of someone shooting, former President Trump at I don't know, a rally of some kind said that he would be the greatest WNBA coach ever because he would convince LeBron James to identify as a woman and he would win by 90 points or, the hyperbole that follows when he talks.
Time out. Who said this?
Joanna, man.
President
Joanna,
Trump.
man. No, he said this is real.
This is real life.
This is real.
This is real. I thought y'all was joking. Hold on.
Nah, this is real. President Trump.
Start over. He said what now?
He would be the greatest WNBA coach of all time because he would convince LeBron James to identify as woman and come play in the WNBA, and they would win by 60 points a game.
So he's telling me that he's saying that he's willing to cheat to win championship in the females league.
Everybody do it. Oh, well, not in the females league, where everybody cheat to win. You know how it goes.
Cheating to win is the thing.
This is Joanna Man at a whole nother level.
This is Joanna Man IRL. I feel like I don't mean to cut you off.
Where did Trump say this at?
This is real. I find the clip. No, this is real. That's why it's so funny because this is real. And now I want to go back and watch Joanna Man again because look, he dominated the WNBA.
Man, I love you even though you're a man.
Realized that movie was way ahead of its time. That's all I'm saying. In 15 years, that movie's gonna look real different than it did when it first came out.
I can't. So, and this was on all the sports. This ain't come across my news feed. Boy.
I don't know that anyone covered it. I haven't seen anyone else talk about it, but it definitely happened. And keep in mind, this was a diss. Like he was saying how he doesn't like LeBron. Obviously, they've had sparring matches.
Like, how can you convince a man to change his gender? That's what I want to know.
Because he already, I don't know. I don't even want.
It's the same guy that told us that he'd grab a female by. You know what?
That's why I fell back. I didn't want to. I don't even want to address it, man. It's just.
Yeah, can we? Let's skip this.
Let's talk about KD and Jaylen Brown, man. The trade just went through. Went through. I'm playing.
I'm going to say, boy, what you rap report now?
James Brown.
There's apparently an article, but it's too late there's more to the removal of the independent study from College Deal, but we'll cover that another time if it's worth talking about. Jaylen Brown, arguably the Celtics' best player in the finals, has been rumored to be included in potential trade packages for Kevin Durant. I think we all concluded as people far removed from the inner circles of the NBA, Kevin Durant likely isn't going anywhere. So if we believe that, and you're Boston who just went to the finals, why would you make this decision at this point in pursuing Kevin Durant? And is it the right thing or will it backfire? And I will start with you, Chris. It sounds like you have thoughts.
Because, Boston, for some odd reason, just likes to do this to themselves, has one of their culture setters, sees, a prettier car and wants to go get that car. And, you better hope that car doesn't break down. No offense, like how that Kyrie Irving situation broke down in Brooklyn after trading away IT. But I don't understand. I feel like this is, upsetting for Celtics fans and Jaylen Brown at this point public, especially if the trade doesn't go through. Some may say Jaylen Brown would be right to ask for, trade himself, saying if y'all don't want to believe in me, I want to go somewhere that somebody else believes in me, because some may say that he's a number one on some teams. And I looked at him in the finals and he had a very good year. Not saying I agree with that, but, I'm not mad at him if he feels that way, because he had an awesome year. He had a good playoff run, and, he'd be right to feel himself. But if I'm Boston, 100% I'd do this deal. Because, listen, if you have Kevin Durant.
Which version of the deal, though?
The Derek White one. I would add in
not the Marcus Smart one.
No, okay. That's hard. I would even add another player. I would add another player with the Derek White just to keep with Marcus Smart. That's just how I feel about it. You don't want to give up too much of your culture. But the reason, real quick, why I would do this deal, I look at the Boston Celtics playoff run, and some may say, right, if Ben Simmons is healthy, they lose in the first round. Some may say if Chris Middleton is healthy, they lose in the semifinals. Some may say in the Eastern Conference Finals, if Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero are playing, they lose. And then they lose to the Warriors. So I'm looking at them and all the moves they made, hats off to them. They're contenders right now. You get Kevin Durant, your favorites. That's a big difference. They've been contenders for a while. In my opinion, they've never been a favorite. You add Kevin Durant, now your favorite. How many rings are you going to win in the next 3 years with Jaylen Brown versus Kevin Durant? I think you have a better chance with Kevin Durant. Now, do I think you break up the whole team to get him? No. But if you can get him for Jaylen Brown, Derek White, maybe a Peyton Pritchard or something, and a whole bunch of picks,
you're going to have to include Robert Williams or Marcus Smart.
Oh, man. I'm not giving up Robert Williams. I'd give up Smart, but I don't want to give up Smart. See, now you're in the pickle. See, now you should never win. See, now the Celtics messed up. You ask me who I'd pick, though, I don't know, man. That's tough. It's tough if you're Boston. That's why you don't want things like this to go public, because now you could you might try to force your hand now and do too much. But if Boston would be able to get this done somehow, some way, without giving up too much, you do it. But it looks like Kevin Durant's not moving anywhere. And if I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm playing with a chip on my shoulder again. I'm trying to prove that I'm better than Jason Tatum.
Dev?
If I was Boston, I wouldn't do the trade, period. Y'all know I'm a KD fan, that Maryland love and all that. But if you go ahead and try to give up a team with majority of the team just to get one star, you're almost starting over. Then you gotta sit here and think, is KD gonna stunt Jason Tatum growth now? Because they both play the similar style.
That's the question.
You know what I mean? But KD is a little bit more, elevated in everybody's opinion. But they kind of almost play like the same style a little bit. They both shoot. And then you giving away a lot of defensive threats. If you give away Marcus Smart, if you give away Robert Williams, you're giving away some key pieces to your defense where that was the anchor that got you to the finals. And you know what I mean? Like I said, KD is KD. You know what I mean? But I just don't think KD will fit in Boston, especially if you're giving away a lot of key pieces. Derek White was your off the bench guy that was giving you the bench scoring. Like I said, Smart and Robert Williams was your defensive anchor, and then Jaylen Brown was pretty much your star in the finals. Jaylen Brown was the guy that kept you relevant in the beginning of the finals for the Celtics. You know what I mean? Because Tatum, he showed up maybe one game in my opinion, but Brown. Only thing about Brown, he just couldn't finish games, and I think that was just designed off the Boston system that they were trying to force it to Tatum more. They was trying to just keep it in Brown's hands. But Brown, I think if he goes somewhere else, I don't think he's going to be as efficient as what he is under Boston. I think he will have a struggling time under a new team, just because I don't think he's a true number one. I think he's talented, but I think he's more that wing guy. You know what I mean? I think Jaylen Brown will only thrive if he have a serious big man on another team with him. That is my opinion.
Okay. Kenny?
I think from Brooklyn's perspective, you do either one of these deals, of course. But if I'm Boston, I'm probably not doing either one of these deals, because I think you did enough, in terms of in the offseason of upgrading your team, in terms of bringing in Malcolm Brogdon. So I think you try to run it back with the guys that you have. And then the other part of it is you got to, you got to add this into the equation as well. Would you rather have 4 years of Kevin Durant or have 10 years of Jaylen Brown?
But you got to ask yourself this: does he resign? He might want to go somewhere and be a number one. I'm with you. No, I agree with everything you're saying.
That's valid. That's valid. I'm just thinking, in terms of, because of their ages.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Jaylen Brown is like 9 or 10 years older or younger then KD, as great as KD is, you once he's done with this contract, he's probably going to be done playing. Because that's probably going to take him to, what, 37 or something like that?
Yeah, 37, 38.
Yeah, so I don't know how much more he's going to want to play with all his outside ventures that he's got going on. So I just think if you're trying to build for and you know, be a contender for the next 10 years, then you keep those two guys together and you rock with what you got.
So I agree ultimately with you, Kenny. I think those two have proven they were up 2-1 in the finals. Like the core you currently have was up 2-1 in the finals to the Warriors, who are pretty good. I think this, like Brooklyn, is an overreaction. I think Brooklyn trying to trade and do all that other stuff early was just an overreaction to a situation that they caused. And I think the impacts of this are going to be long lasting. And I know y'all joke, but Jaylen Brown did sign with Donda Sports. And
I love where you're going.
I don't know how much Donda Sports is going to love him being attached to the trade. And I don't know how great the conversations are going to go behind closed doors, especially if Antonio Brown is the president of Donda Sports or whatever the agency is. So I think it's pretty problematic, to be perfectly honest. I think they have created a problem they didn't need to create because the team's good. I just don't know what the thought process was in running this risk when the team wasn't far off. With a healthy Robert Williams, the series might be different.
Let me ask you this though, Ray. Jared's good, but are you picking them over Milwaukee right now? Right now, them or Milwaukee coming out these? Who are you picking? And I don't mean to cut you off, but the reason why I say you go to KD is because you got KD on that team and you're not thinking about that.
But
you're picking Boston.
I think but that's the part of this that I think has to factor in.
Okay.
Is by all accounts, this KD trade sounds like the Melo trade. This isn't a good swap.
Okay.
This is I'm going to gut the team, and it's just going to be KD and Jason Tatum. And Al Horford, maybe Robert Williams or Marcus Smart is left, but your future is going to be taxed, and your current roster construction is going to be taxed.
Okay.
And you're banking all that on KD being healthy.
Yeah, at this stage. That analogy makes me think about it different because what Melo did with the Knicks, that screwed them up. So now I kind of look at it different now.
And that's the only packages I've seen are those kind of packages. They've been outrageous. So I just don't know why you even entertain this with everything that's been reported. If they call you, maybe you pick up the phone and answer. And as soon as the report comes out, you say, yeah, they called and we had no interest. I didn't hear that. I saw Jaylen Brown tweet SMH.
Like, I thought I'd have said more. I said SMFH.
You don't need that. Like, you have a great thing going. 2-3 years ago, the team was on the verge of going to the finals then. And the core's just gotten better. And I just think it was a miscalculation. And we'll see what happens, but I hope they get the trade done, because otherwise you're gonna have your second best player by far looking and feeling away. And I just don't think it was worth the risk. But fellas, that is what we got. There's a little bit more to get to. We can get the Jimmy's new hairstyle at a later date.
We're good.
Nope. I ain't touching that one. Nope.
We're talking about it. Listen, y'all.
Future.
Listen. Let's talk about it. Jimmy got the Fetty Wap extensions. You know.
I don't want to talk about it.
Neither do I. I don't even know why I brought it up.
No, I want to talk about tomorrow. Everybody tune in at 9:00 on Showtime. New York City point guards.
I want to.
Everybody tune in. It's gonna
be hey, this put a reminder in the group chat. Please, put a reminder in the group chat. I'm gonna need that.
Everybody tune in. It's gonna be bananas.
Hey, tune in for Showtime. You know, Danny Garcia fight
Saturday.
I'm watching that. I'm watching that. You
he
know,
watched that Saturday.
Yes,
yeah. So make sure we tune in so we can talk about that on Monday.
of course.
Sure.
Shortly after that, Jake Paul will be fighting. So excited.
Oh,
Yo, look. I know you might feel some type of way, Kenny. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
No. Actually, I'm giving him props because this is going to be the true test. This is going to tell us whether or not
If
he's legitimate.
Who
or
he
if
fighting
he's
again?
just a sideshow.
Hakeem
Rahman
Jr.
Jr.
I'll say this though. The only way it's bad if he gets the only way this is bad for Jake Paul, I'll be quick, if he loses bad. But if he loses, first of all, if he wins, that does a lot. But if he loses and it's close, come on, a guy that just started boxing versus a guy that's boxing been his whole life, man. Like
if he wins,
he just can't get knocked out.
If he wins, we might have a problem.
What's
he
the
better
problem? He better win. I'm putting money on him.
You picking Jake Paul to win?
I'm putting money on that Dynamite right here. Nah, I'm playing. I ain't putting no money on him, but I do want to see him win though.
Yeah, you is. You just mad nobody didn't agree with you.
No, I'm not. Because I put money on Nate Robinson, and Nate Robinson was night. I still haven't heard from Nate since. I'm not betting. I'm not touching no Jake Paul fights.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, we gonna cover it all. So again, appreciate each and everybody that tuned in. Thank you for staying with us. We had the week off, but we back. We getting close. We're gonna have some football.
Yes, indeed.
It's gonna be good. So we definitely appreciate it. We also are working on a fantasy football league.
Yes.
So we'll be tracking some of that. We might have to do our own. I don't know. Something we can't do it 14 league, but we'll figure something out and get the others to participate. But should be fun. We got some stuff coming for y'all. Definitely tap in. Turn on your notifications, like, share, and subscribe here on ASAP. Big things popping, and we got more to come. So appreciate y'all, love y'all, and y'all have a great weekend.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.